are back. Now we're taking the question and answer segment. It's all about Ask Mbithe. We want you to be able to ask us absolutely any questions when it comes to investments in Kenya. Our numbers are open. That's 20146. And I have a question from one of you. And the question is, hello, how do I invest in the stock market or shares? When it comes to investing in Kenya, the market is provided by the Nairobi Securities Exchange. If you want to be part and parcel of this, I would first encourage you, go and download the NSE app. Download the NSE app. It shows you the list of all the stockbrokers available. Pick the one that makes sense to you, open an account, and you can get it activated in a day or two. Then you can actually get access. What are the steps? First thing, download the My NSE app. It will be able to give you a list of who all the stockbrokers are. Then pick a stockbroker that makes sense to you, then start trading. I hope that answers your question. Let's see the next question that's coming up. Okay, as we are waiting for that question to load up, I think we have a couple of questions lined up. Let's see. We have something that's coming up in a few seconds. That is the charts that are showing us a reminder of where we are at when it comes to the Nairobi Securities Exchange. I think let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will have a couple of questions lined up for you as well as videos. See you after this.
Yeah, my name's Edmond Manyala, and Metropole. I would like to ask a question about financial management. Number one, asking the old mutual people. They usually say that we invest within a certain period, like their premiums for 3 or 5 to 5 years. And my question is, when I invest this money, will I be able to withdraw it when an emergency arises?
That's a question that's specific for Old Mutual. And I think the product that he's describing is when you take an investment policy for a certain duration and then you keep making your monthly payments. He asks a very pertinent question. If an emergency comes, can I be able to access it? I would say no, because typically these investment policies, they have a duration and you really don't want to be able to cut this duration before the maturity, but then they give you at least a minimum of 3 years before you have to take your money back. If you are looking to fund your emergency funds, I would highly suggest either take a money market account, something that is liquid and you can be able to get it at least within 2 days, put some money in your M-Pesa or M-Shwari accounts, put some money in the bank for emergency. You want to be able to quickly access this. This investment policies, it's punitive if you do not pay up and if you want to extract your money. It's probably more beneficial if you wait it out till the very end. But for your own benefit, what we will do is we will specifically reach out to Old Mutual to come and describe this particular product. For your benefit, emergency funds, put them in a space that is quickly accessible in case somebody gets into an accident and you need money. If you're going to take an investment policy, and evaluate the cost of it. If you don't pay, you don't get your money back, or at least getting your money back becomes that much harder. So consider that the next time you're taking some of these investment policies. Let's see what the next question is.
Metropole TV. My name is Harrison Kihara. I'm a businessman, and I want to inquire about stock exchange. I want an advice on which is the best company that I can invest with.
Hello, Mr. Kihara. Thank you so much for your question. You are a businessman. I'm sure you have made the most return in your business. Now, when it comes to the Nairobi Securities Exchange and given the age group that you're in, you really want to try and focus on buying stocks that will be able to give you a dividend. This year alone, because of what has happened in COVID-19, the options of companies that can give you a dividend are becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. To put it into perspective, East African Breweries announced its half-year numbers yesterday, down 47%. They're not paying a dividend. Banking stocks, Central Bank has told them that they need to get concurrence from the Central Bank of Kenya before they can pay a dividend. That leaves you with what kind of stocks that can pay? Some of the agricultural companies, Safaricom certainly is up there, and the likes of the utility companies such as Kengen. For you, Mr. Harrison, you want to look out for companies that are able to give you a dividend yield or investment opportunities that are giving you a dividend return. The government of Kenya has such opportunities, and just this week there was a 16-year infrastructure bond, which is tax-free, that was giving you slightly above 12% as a return, depending on where you had actually put in your bid. You're getting older. You don't want to be able to invest in risky assets. You want to invest in assets that are giving you a return. Look for Government of Kenya infrastructure bonds. Those are tax-free, I beg your pardon. Look for Government of Kenya. The 1 year is giving you about 8.8% if you are investing. Look for money market funds. They're giving you anything between 8 and 5%, so that you're assured of getting a return as opposed to eroding your capital. If you're looking at the NSE, look for dividend-paying stocks. Safaricom is now at about slightly below 5% because it has rallied in price. There are opportunities in the agricultural stocks as well, and Kengen as well, and the likes of Fahari iRate. Let's see what else is there.
Hi, Metropole TV. I just would like to ask one question about the ways of investment in Kenya. If I have some capital, I need to invest. So can you give me the feedback of the ways how to invest in Kenya? Also, I would like to ask another question. What is the most popular investment way in Kenya? For example, like hospitals, like hotels, like maybe cement company, like what is the main industrial in Kenya so I can invest?
Oh, fantastic. That's a great question. Thank you to our production team for getting a variety of people to speak to us. So the first question, what are the investment opportunities today? You're either investing and becoming a passive investor or an active investor. Active investor, you're building your business, you're investing in your business. Passive, you're coming into the public realm. You have shares that are available to you on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Download the My NSE app. There's so many opportunities to be able to invest. 6 of the stockbrokers, 23 in total, 6 of them actually allow you to facilitate trading via your mobile phone. You can be able to get them off the NSE app. Download it. It gives you access to those opportunities. Shares, high risk, high return. The other thing, walk to the Central Bank of Kenya, open a trading account with the Central Bank of Kenya. That gives you opportunities to investments that start off from as a minimum of 3 months all the way to over 20 years, depending on what you are looking for. Those low risk, low return investing in government treasury bills and government treasury bonds. The thing for this is you cannot liquidate. You have to hold any paper you hold with the government of Kenya till it matures. The other thing, money market funds, that's become a big thing. There has been massive growth in the last year, largely because of COVID-19. That has been growing steadily. These are giving you anything between 8 to 11 or 12%, depending on which money market you put your money in. The beauty about money market funds is they take your money, invest it in the government securities as well as other asset classes. But if you need your money in between, you're able to withdraw it and still earn up until the day that you had made an investment. Other opportunities in Kenya today, real estate, depending on where you're buying it. If you're buying at the very low end, you're probably getting almost a 12% return. People have land, they build shanties, they're able to lend this out. You probably need a ruthless caretaker to be able to unlock value for that. Middle income, the suburbs around Nairobi, areas that are growing, cities outside of Nairobi, the likes of Kisii, Mombasa, you can get 6 to 8% return. That's real estate. You just look at the opportunities and buy an asset there. High end, the returns are considerably lower, 4 to 5%. That's another asset class. We also have commercial paper. Some companies issue paper for one year, that's 12 months, and they come back to the market. This particular market segment didn't do too well earlier on, but now it's catching on, especially because there's not too much money that's circulating around. There are companies that do this. They'll give you probably 13 to 15% return. What I'm saying is there are numerous opportunities that are available to you. You just need to dive right in, but get yourself sorted in terms of opening an account and being able to get visibility of these opportunities. Second question you've asked, when it comes to shares, you're asking, is there like an industrial index or are there industrial companies that you can buy in Kenya? Well, you are just lucky. Bamburi Cement is one of the larger listed companies in the cement sector. It's already up about over 100% actually from last year. It was at a low of 20, now it's at 46%. And it does look that the business model is sort of coming off on recovery, and there could be a bit more upside. So if you are looking for manufacturing companies, you have Bamburi that's listed there. That's the best in class in that particular category. There's also East African Breweries that manufactures beer. It has just announced its numbers, down 47%. But interestingly, the top line, the revenues were down about 5%, so not too much of a hit. But then they did have this one particular line, which was total other costs. They didn't elaborate on that. That was up 89%, causing a decline to the bottom line. This information, depending on how investors translate, if it comes off from this point, which is at 148, it comes much lower. There could be an opportunity to buy it for the longer term. We also have, I think those are pretty much the industrial companies that you want to pay attention to at this point in time. There's also British America Tobacco. It sells and distributes cigarettes in Kenya and within the region. It also services other African countries from here. It has been doing well, pays a dividend. We're waiting to see how their earnings look like. That's also another company that you could possibly look out for. I hope that answers your question. Let's see what the next question is.
My name is Mbithe, a student at Kenya Methodist University. My question is, where can one buy shares if he or she wants to? And is Safaricom the best place to buy shares? As we have seen, it's one of the most, it's there at the top, yeah, in shareholdings and stuff. So I would kindly like for advice. I'll wish to buy shares as a youth, yes, to invest in my future.
Fantastic. Hashtag buying shares at a youth. As a youth, rather. Being a youth is such an exciting time. You're out there, you're adventurous. And actually, it's the best time to buy shares because you're also risking and trying to understand what does it entail to be able to make money from shares. Today, for the youth in Kenya, because of technology, you have the entire world open to you. You have access to US shares. You have access to Kenyan shares. You have access to shares outside of Kenya. If you want to look at European countries, there's so many opportunities that are available to you, opportunities that your parents had not seen. That said, let's focus on the Kenyan market. And I like how you're giggling as you're talking about Safaricom. I mean, how many of us are on the Safaricom platform? About 37 million of us are using Safaricom in one way or the other. That tells you that it has so many touch points: voice, M-Pesa, SMS, Wi-Fi. Where is it trading at today? It's 37 shillings per share. People ask, can I afford to buy this? Yes, you can, because you only need a minimum of 100 shares multiplied by 37. That's 3,700 shillings to be able to participate in this particular share. What we like about Safaricom is the fact that A, it's one of the only companies in Kenya that are listed that is making money, and secondly, it's one of the other few companies that is still able to pay you a dividend as a shareholder. You make money in two ways. You earn a dividend, or you wait for the price to come from a low to a high, and these are opportunities that are both available with Safaricom. So it is something that you certainly want to look out for. But my encouragement to you is this. I mean, for us here as the team as Metropole TV, we are all about business information and business insights. We want to be able to help you have this conversation when it comes to the youth and investing. Universities, mko wapi? Call us. We are a team of many. There are many people who are standing behind me. We want to come to you guys. We want to come and record with you guys. We want to have a show with you guys. We want to talk about youth and financial literacy, everything when it comes to youth and investing. Won't you be able to reach out to us and invite us to your spaces? I hope you can do that. 20146, that's our number. We are ready. Tunataka tukuje tuongee hii maneno ya shares, maneno ya investments, everything kabisa. I'll see you. I have a few more questions that are coming here from my producer. Let me ask them. We've already answered the first one. How do investments work? How do I begin to invest? And then we have a question that's saying, speaking of real estate trends, is Home Africa selling shares? And if so, what is the pricing? Fantastic. Thank you so much for that particular question. Yes, Home Africa sells shares. When a company is listed, you can buy or sell the shares on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. I'll just confirm the price quickly for you and then come back to you on that. Let's see what the other question is. Somebody says that my aunt bought me Eveready shares more than 10 years ago. He lost all the documentation and can't recall the stockbroker. How can I get share information? Steve Kajiado. Steve Abaria Kajiado, how are you doing there? Happy New Year, happy new month at this point in time. For you to get this information, you need to call the Central Depository and Settlements Corporation. That is CDSC. You can reach out to them on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, or on their website. You can go to them with at least your ID number or the ID number of the person that had actually given you these shares. And for a small little fee, they can be able to pull out your records and tell you what do you owe, what do you own in this particular share, and what are the share certificates, or what is the documentation information that you need to get. That's CDSE. That's the company that you want to look out for. You can find them online. You can go to their offices. They would be the best place because when you buy a share, it doesn't sit in your stockbroker's account. It sits in your CDSE account. Your CDSE account then can be able to be extracted and you can get details of this. Steve, I hope to make idea. That is C for cat, D for dog, S for Saturday, C for cat again, CDSE. That's the name. So I'm just quickly checking for us what the price for Home Africa is and if you can buy them, and then I will come back to you. But continue sending your questions and answers. But we're almost coming to the tail end of this conversation as we confirm this price. What else would you like us to be able to answer? It is the beginning of a new year. We're getting to the tail end of January. January is done. There are people who made a 21% return if they had invested in Bamburi. What kind of return did you make? If you didn't make a return, it's not over till it's over. It's the beginning of a new month, February. What are your goals when it comes to investments? What returns are you looking at? People made 21% in Bamburi. There are people who invested in the infrastructure bond yesterday, depending on how they bought it. There's some who got as high as 12.5% return, others who got 12% return. That's a return for each and every single year. There are opportunities there. What are you doing about these opportunities? We take a short break. When we come back, we will be winding down the show, but I have my number 20146 as I quickly check on the price of Home Africa, and I will be able to take at least one or two other questions. Then we can call it a weekend. See you in a few.